Welcome to a countdown video. Now, the way this countdown is going to work is I'm showing you gameplay of the match in the background. So, today, I am counting down my top 10 favorite Money in the Bank pay-per-view matches. Now, I've looked at all 5 this Sunday, 6 Money in the Bank matches. Now, none from this year are on this list, for the simple fact that I don't know if they're going to be good or bad. I may update this list after this Sunday, but I don't know. My number one probably will not shock you. But maybe this year, my number one could get bumped down to number 2. I highly doubt it, because the only match that I think could maybe top my top pick is AJ Styles v. John Cena. So, without further ado, let's get into the top 10. I will be right back once I get the entrances for these two men out for my number 10 pick. So my first pick for the first match is Christian v. Randy Orton at Money in the Bank 2011. Now, why I picked this match over, I had 5 pay-per-views to look at. Oh my god, some of these matches were terrible, I'd like to add. But, for the simple fact that I picked this match, for the simple fact that this one holds... Okay, I've seen this match, like, not live, but like, I've seen this match on, like, YouTube and that. I've watched this match so many times. This is one of my favorite Money in the Bank title matches. Not my favorite. This is my favorite Money in the Bank world title match. I have a favorite world title match to take place at Money in the Bank. Because it was Christian's first time ever winning the Money in the Bank. Not Money in the Bank. First time ever winning the world title. He won it at Extreme Rules against Alberto Del Rio in a ladder match for his first ever champion. 6 days later, he lost to Randy Orton in what was heartbreaking, because I was like, wow, you just gave Orton, a guy who doesn't need the title from a guy who could have really got a boost from using said title. So I was a little bitter about it. There are 3 Money in the Bank actual matches on this list. And no, last year's is not on this list. That one was terrible. That was my least favorite Money in the Bank to date. My least favorite. Now, my favorite has to be the one, like, one of the ones that CM Punk won. It was either, I think it was his second one I liked. It was one of the 2 that was one of my favorite matches. I can't recall which one it was. But it was either WrestleMania 23 or 24, I think is where he won both of them. It was 23 and 25. No, 25 was Rob Van Dam. No. I don't even know. Whichever 2 years he went back, CM Punk went back-to-back was one of my favorites. But anyway, that's, if I were to count down top 10 Money in the Bank matches, that would most likely one of those, both of CM Punk's wins would have ended up on that list. I was thinking of making that list in spirit of Money in the Bank, but then I was like, you know what, why don't I do the pay-per-view match so I can do that? Okay, so from now until August, I'm doing a WWE Top 10 daily. Why? Because I can. Anyway, so why I like this match so much. It was Christian's first world title that he got screwed out of by Randy Orton on a SmackDown. And then roll back when we actually had Capital Punishment as a pay-per-view. Yeah, remember that time? Those days? Anyway, Capital Punishment. Christian lost the match by... I know it was scripted like this, but he lost the match when he should have won the match for the simple fact that he had his foot on the bottom rope. Christian had his foot on the bottom rope, so therefore it should have been an automatic break from the referee. Now, why I'm not happy about Christian not winning that match was simply because I liked Christian up. Okay, I used to be a big fan of Christian, but then this whole one more match crap kind of made me lose my value in Christian. But when he asked for the one more match, I think it was like the very, 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 very first time when at Money in the Bank is when he asked for the whole one more match thing. This was the first time, and I was like, yeah, okay, I could see why he'd want one more match to prove himself. Point being, Christian should have won at Capital Punishment. This match shouldn't have been at Money in the Bank, but I'm kind of, in a sense, glad that Christian lost at Capital Punishment so I could see this match, because this match right here was a great match. The stipulation was very, very unique. But what I didn't like about the stipulation was Okay, I liked how if Randy Orton gets disqualified, Christian automatically gets the title. That's fair. In my mind, that is fair. Okay, I can see what you did there. Congratulations. Okay, so you guys really do want Christian winning this matchup. Right. Okay, I can see that. What I don't understand is if there's a bad officiating call, I get the title. Like, okay, that's just being a little bit of a baby. Don't you think? Now you're just being a little bit unrealistic and being a little child about this just because you lost the title just because the bad officiating screwed you out of the title before at the previous pay-per-view doesn't mean that you need to shove it down our throats that no matter what, if I win, if Edge Orton gets disqualified or anything like that, I get the title, which is fine. Because, I mean, I've seen that kind of stipulation before, and it was at WrestleMania 25, and that was a stupid one. So, but in the end, that's what happened, and that's what makes me love this match, and that's what gets this match number 10 on my list. Stay tuned for number 9. Number 9 is a match that took place at the very first Money in the Bank. Was the world title match. Rey Mysterio v. Jack Swagger. What I liked about this match, I liked how Rey Mysterio was actually involved with the first ever Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I also like how he would later go on to retain his world title. What I didn't like, how he had to face Jack Swagger. Now, don't get me wrong, Swagger is a phenomenal athlete back in 2010. He had his world title Money in the Bank run, which he killed the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Wait, did he really? Well, the last one he won, so I'm saying he killed off Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. So, also what I liked about it was how Kane came in, cashed in and won his first title since like the 90s when he only had it for like one day. So that's always, that was a, ooh. So that's always fun. What else I liked about it was, how back in these days, the world title actually meant something, whereas later in its life, it wasn't as prestigious as it once was. It was more of a mid-card belt, and then Cena brought it some legitimacy when he won it in 2013, and then, poof! Before 2014, we had one belt. So, one glorious belt, mind you. Like that, that's a nice belt. But, I don't like how we now have one belt, but that's right for another day. But no, this match in particular, I rewatched it actually when the WWE Network was re-showing some past Money in the Bank events. I rewatched this one and yeah, wasn't bad. Wasn't the best. I needed a little bit of a filler, so I filled it with this match, and yeah. But no, I mean, this is the first Money in the Bank. It was a card. The main event kind of was shit the bed because of John Cena v. Sheamus. Sheamus! Oh, and also, did I mention Sheamus was still winning titles by 2016? Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Well, it was more 2015 because I don't think he didn't win the champion yet, but I mean, he was still winning titles, so you know what I mean? It's like 2016, and I'm like, why is this guy still winning titles? Like, jeez. I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to think Sheamus was, oh cool, this guy just had a debut, win the title in 2 months. Awesome. This guy's gonna be the next big guy, I think. And here comes 619. There's a move I'm seeing on my television every Monday, Friday, and Sundays during pay-per-views. Are you kidding me? But No, because, I mean, this was also the last time you'd see Rey Mysterio as a world champion, if I do recall. This was like his last stint with it until 2012 when he won the WWE champion, like when he won the actual WWE title, but then dropped it to John Cena the exact same night. Thanks a lot, Cena. But I mean, I can't stay that mad because, I mean, Mysterio had a great career with WWE and then he left in, I think it was 2013 or 2014. It was a little while ago. I don't know how long ago it was. It was 2014 or 2013. But I mean, this was Mysterio's last chance as champion. This was his last little brief stint with the title, and then, you know, he left, kind of thing. And oh my God, Swagger! Thought you were done the push-up thing when you were done with the whole the American. Oh God, Swagger was annoying back then. I always hated Jack Swagger back then. And watching the match now, I'm kind of glad that Mysterio was the one who did indeed win it. I'm glad that Rey Mysterio walked out the winner of that match. But I mean, am I trying to duplicate the match? No, it's just while I'm talking over this match, but I'd like to finish each match. Ugh. I don't see who wins though. But I mean, Swagger and Mysterio, they put on a great, however minute long match it was. And yeah, so number 8. Number 8 is my first but not my last Money in the Bank 2015 on this list. This one, number 5. Number 8, Seth Rollins v. Dean Ambrose. Money in the Bank 2012 for the WWE, or 2015 for the WWE Championship. So yeah, why I liked this match. Wait, this was the first time Dean Ambrose was looked at as a main event guy. Blech. A main event guy. He was looked at as a main event guy for the first time in his career after the split up with the Shield. Because after the Shield split up, Dean wasn't doing much. Don't you lie, Dean wasn't. Dean was kind of just that third guy of the Shield as Seth and Roman were breaking out as megastars. And Dean was kind of just in the background, former U.S. champion. And his feud with Seth Rollins late last year, early to mid last year, was honestly one of my favorite rivalries of 2015. Not gonna lie. It was great. It was a great match. The finish was a little crap because honestly, I think Dean Ambrose should have won the match. But no, good job for Seth Rollins. This was one of his 2 or 3 matches he actually won clean as champion. He actually won one of these. He only won a handful of matches clean when he was champ. While he was champion. Which is also makes your champion look weak if he needs help to win every single title defense. If I recalled, I think I'd seen two. If I remember right, only 2 matches he won cleanly. He won this match cleanly, albeit by kind of Dean Ambrose letting go of the title. And he won against somebody else, but every other time, he needed help to win. He needed help by John Stewart to beat Cena. He needed help beating Orton by Kane. He needed help beating everybody until eventually the injury took him off. He was like 7 months as champion or something like that. I don't know. It was bullcrap title reign. But no, what more can I say about this match? It was a great match. It was it really showed that Dean Ambrose was almost ready to step up to the main event. Dean did not let down in his performance in this match. It was a great performance by Dean. He would later go on to win the Intercontinental Championship and hold that, and he'd go on to do 2 consecutive WrestleManias. 3 consecutive WrestleManias in a row, and he had great matches. Well, I'm saying 2 consecutive because he did the ladder match at the WrestleMania 31, and then 32 had a great match with Brock Lesnar. So, number 7. Okay, so the second match from Money in the Bank 2015 on my list. Can you guess what it was? No, it is not the Money in the Bank match. It is John Cena v. Kevin Owens. Or I'm not sure if it was for the U.S. champion, though. I can't remember if it was for the U.S. champion or not. I don't think it was. But John Cena v. Kevin Owens gets 7th? 7th on my all-time favorite matches from Money in the Bank. Because, I mean, okay. This was Kevin Owens's... This was the year of Owens. What do I mean by the year of Owens? He had a great start to his career in Elimination Chamber, knocking off John Cena. He would go on and he'd lose their next... Was this their next match? I don't remember if this was their next match. This was a big match. Cena v. Kevin Owens is one of my favorite rivalries of 2015. It'd be higher, not by much, but it'd be higher than Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose's rivalry. For the simple fact, I like Kevin Owens. I like John Cena. At the time, I didn't really like Seth Rollins, but I liked Dean Ambrose. I mean, hell, Cena, like him or... You're about to hate me for what I'm about to say, but Cena's been one of my favorite superstars for as long as I can remember. He's been one of my favorites for a really, really, really long time. This match, 10 out of 10. I don't remember if it was for the U.S. title, but that's basically what happened. Cena just picks him up for the attitude adjustment, pins him. 1, 2, 3. Remember, I promised 3 Money in the Bank matches. The first one is coming up next. That is my favorite, and lands at number 6. Okay, ignore Zack Ryder. He was not in this match. But number 6 is Money in the Bank 2013. Okay, what I liked about this match. This was a great follow-up to the All-Star Money in the Bank. Whether anybody will admit that or not. This was a great follow-up to the All-Star one in that previous year. I think it was that previous year. Was it the same year? I don't know. I think it was the previous year. The one that Orton won in 2013. This was 2012 Part 2. Or something. Bottom line is, this was a great all-around match. It was a brutal match. Zack Ryder was not in the match. I only put him here because I needed a 6th man to fill a spot. The obvious winner was yours truly. But, in a sense, I'm kind of glad it was him over anybody else. Except for maybe Chris Jericho. But I'm glad it was him for the simple fact that Cena was to renew his rivalry with CM Punk by winning Money in the Bank. He would renew that old rivalry with CM Punk by cashing it in on CM Punk. Now, note, this match was, it was kind of boring at times. It was looking like Big Show was going to win. If Big Show would have won, I would have been pissed. And because Big Show was jealous, I think it was like a month later was the 100th episode of Raw. Cena warned Punk, I'm cashing in on you. Punk was like, okay, bring it on, bud. And Big Show would end up ruining what was a great match for WWE Raw, of all things. And that's also when the bloody 3 hours started. No, I really enjoyed this match. Cena winning his first Money in the Bank was awesome to watch. Firsthand, I watched it on the network again, and I loved it. I cannot lie, there was not a man who was more worthy of winning Money in the Bank that year than John Cena. Again, you could have made a case for Chris Jericho, but I mean, really, the only one to win was Cena. The only one that made sense to win was John Cena. Oh. That didn't happen as much as in the actual match, though. Like the whole knocking off people off ladders and that didn't actually happen a lot in the match. Handful of times, actually. Oh, Kane glitched the ladder. Nice going. You good for nothing. But no. I mean, this was a great follow-up to the All-Star. I think the All-Star took place in 2012, I think. Don't correct me. Or it would be the next year. No, it would have been 2013 as well. I think both matches were in 2013. No. Orton won the All-Star. I mean, what? Spoiler alert, Orton won the All-Star. Spoiler alert from like 2 years ago. Is this 2012? No, it's 2012, okay. This was like, in a sense, the first All-Star. Money in the Bank, no matter what anybody says, this was the first Money in the Bank All-Star match. Number 5. Sorry, number 4. I was right the first time. It's number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Number, bleh. Number 13, bleh. Number 5 was 2013's Money in the Bank. Dean Ambrose, Dean Sandow, Dean Ambrose, Antonio Cesaro, Jack Swagger, Wade Barrett, and Cody Rhodes. This was not my favorite Money in the Bank match at Money in the Bank. My favorite comes a little later. But for 2 Money in the Banks, to crack the top 5, that you know you have a good Money in the Bank. You know you have good matches at your pay-per-view if you can make 2 of your Money in the Banks crack my top 10. Shit. Okay. No shit. No shit. No, but, what was great about this match? You got to see so many guys who are up and coming in the main event. There was not one guy that was a main event that was going to steal your show. Well, for me, Jack Swagger was a former main eventer. Do you even count that? You can count Jack Swagger. These were all young, up and coming guys who were all fighting for the spotlight. So that's what I like. This was almost like in a sense, an all rookie Money in the Bank match. No, but what was great about this was like I said, it was almost like an all rookie battle Money in the Bank match. You're seeing guys who are going to be up to just a bunch of guys who are trying to break out. Mid-carders at best. Because a lot of these guys were mid-carders at best. Sorry, what the frick are you doing? Like Cody Rhodes, he was established, but he wasn't. Swagger was a former main eventer who dropped to mid-card status. Sandow was looking like a future superstar, future world champion even. Dean, this was pretty much the year of the breakup of the Shield, in a sense. All 3 Shield members have been in a Money in the Bank match. Roman being in my least favorite Money in the Bank match. Least favorite WWE champion, least favorite Money in the Bank match. Coincidence? Nah, it's just because Sheamus won it. If Roman or Sheamus would have won it, it would automatically be my least favorite because I don't like Roman Reigns. I don't like how they're shoving Roman Reigns down our throat. I'm hoping that this Sunday he gets his butt kicked. I really do. I really hope he gets his butt kicked. I hope Seth Rollins walks out your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But, no. See, these were all a bunch of up-and-coming guys who weren't really established yet. Like I mentioned. Just guys who are fighting for a spot. Fighting for a spot to prove that they can do some things. proving that, you know, hey, just being we're mid-carders doesn't mean we suck kind of thing. We're just going to go out there, we're going to put on the best match of the weekend as a group of mid-carders. And they did put on a great match for a group of mid-carders. I don't care who, I honestly, Sandow winning this match just made it a little better, but I honestly wouldn't care who won this match. Cody could have won it. Dean could have won it. Cesaro could have won it. Swagger, he's already won Money in the Bank, give a new guy a shot. Barrett could have won this. Anybody could have won it. I wouldn't have cared. It was that good of a match. I didn't care who the winner was going to be. Whereas 2015 and years past, okay, 2014, who would I have wanted the winner? Okay, thinking back about the Money Banks, if I had to pick a winner, I wouldn't have picked the winner most of the time. 2012 Money in the Bank, I was okay with John Cena. I was okay with that. Like I said, it renewed the John Cena Punk rivalry. Because Punk was champion at that time. And I was okay with that. Everybody... And also what I like is that you're having a bunch of returning guys and 2 new guys. It's in the Money in the Bank. Okay, Dean Ambrose won 2013's Money in the Bank, everyone. But no, Sandow winning. Great match. Number 4. The only Divas match to make this list. And what better to make it 3 matches in a row from Money in the Bank 2013. It was a good event, okay? But this is the end of the 2013. Okay, no. The next one is the end of 2013's Money in the Bank. I liked AJ Lee. I loved her time in the WWE. It was... I was really... actually, it's called the Black Widow. It's the Black Widow. Or as the whole effing show YouTube channel likes to call it, the Ass Tapple. The Ass Spangle. But anyway, no, I loved AJ's tenure in the WWE. I love her time. 3-time, I think she ended up being, or 2-time Divas, 3 or 2-time Divas champion. You know, she was great. Caitlyn, I never really liked her. Not gonna lie. And I was glad when that happened at the Real Money in the Bank. Okay, number 3, top 3. What 3 matches were so good that they cracked my top 3? Let's find out. Number 3, the last Money in the Bank. And no, one particular man is in the top 3. Every single one of these matches, he's in the top 3. I think you might be able to guess who. The All-Stars Money in the Bank cracks my top 10. And the last, and my favorite, Money in the Bank at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Unless this year's does better. This year's please do better. The All-Star Money in the Bank consisted of Randy Orton, Rod Van Dam. That's my Rod Van Dam. Don't judge it. It sucks, I know. Rod Van Dam. The man who should have won Money in the Bank that year. CM Punk. Daniel Bryan. Christian. And I don't know how Sheamus is considered an all-star, but Sheamus made this match. I guess because he was a former champion. And this was really all former world champions at this point in their careers. I think everybody was a former world champion. Yeah, everybody was a former world champion by this point in time in their career. But really, honestly, if everything... CM Punk or Rod Van Dam should have won this match. Anybody but Orton or Sheamus should have won this match. And Orton ended up winning this match, cashing in on, and you know, the rest is history. What I liked about this match, it gave 6 guys, 6 of arguably... Okay, I think they called it 6 of the greatest world champions to ever compete, who are competing in the WWE right now. I agree with the 5. Sheamus, all his world title reigns have been boring. Especially his one in 2015. But no, I liked every single man in this match. I was a fan of all these guys, because this is back when I was a fan of Sheamus. This match was great, and it lived up to the all-star branding it got. Although, the winner, in my opinion, should have been CM Punk. But Paul, you know, the whole storyline between him and Paul Heyman, and then he had that great feud with Paul Heyman. So I can't really complain. But Randy Orton winning and screwing out Daniel Bryan was the worst booking decision I could have thought of. I could think of. One man in this match cracks the top 3 every time. 2 men crack the top 3. 1 man cracks the top 3 twice. 1 man was already on this list. I think you already know what number. Anybody with half a brain knows what number 1's going to be, but do you know what number 2's going to be? I'm telling you, 1 man is in all 3 positions. I'm telling you that right now. That's your hint. This man was on my list twice already. He has 1 more chance to shine. But no, all in all, the All-Star Money in the Bank lived up to every single thing. The returning Rod Van Dam. Daniel Bryan. It made Daniel Bryan solidify him as a star. It made Randy Orton another champion. But it also brought back Evolution, so Well, 3/4 of Evolution. It gave CM Punk that great feud with Paul Heyman. Christian kind of retired after that. Sheamus had a shitty run in 2015 as champion. So this kind of killed 2 stars and made 4. In a sense, it killed 3 and made 3. If you count the killing of Daniel Bryan as world champion. Number 2. What could number 2 be? Number 2 is a WWE title match. Spoiler alert, the last 2 are title matches. Both for the WWE. Number 2, CM Punk v. Daniel Bryan, Money in the Bank 2012. That is awesome! I never realized they did that. That is awesome! I never even realized they did that. Yeah, this is my first time using Daniel Bryan, in case you didn't know. That is awesome. I like that. Great touch, actually. Great touch. But this is one of my favorite Money in the Bank title matches. Not my favorite, though. My favorite title match here. My favorite match, I'm already telling you. It's Mark Henry versus The Big Show at Money in the Bank 2011. No, it's not. But let's talk about this match first. This match had almost per se the love triangle of Daniel Bryan, AJ Lee, and CM Punk. AJ and Punk got together by the end of all this. But it was great. It made the build up to this match was great. Punk was kind of like, you're crazy. But I never said I don't appreciate that. Daniel Bryan cut a promo before the match saying that how he was going to marry AJ Lee, but instead he married Brie, which is, again, that's fine because, Punk was able to score the chick. Punk was able to score the crazy chick like he wanted, like he digged. But no, Punk, AJ, Daniel, all 3 participants in this match, because AJ was a special guest referee in case you didn't know. All 3 were great in this matchup. It was CM Punk really shined in the next 3-4 years of Money in the Bank. He really shined from 2011 to 2013. He really shined in Money in the Banks. I'm not sure if he was involved in the 2014 card or 2010 card. I know he wasn't involved in last year's card. But no, Punk, Daniel, great no disqualification match. One of my favorite matches of 2012, I'd say. One of my favorite pay-per-view matches, at least. One of my favorite CM Punk matches, actually. But it's got a lot of competition for favorite Punk match. I love CM Punk to death. I don't care if he got fired. I don't care if he's doing UFC. I care to remember his wrestling career. His great, awesome tenure with the WWE. Starting in 06's ECW reboot. All the way to 2014. successful years, summer of Punk, all that. Punk, the right guy, walked out the winner. You want to know what the obvious number one is? Number one. Like I said. Oh my god. What? Okay, really, is number one not obvious? The best Money in the Bank match. CM Punk versus John Cena. Money in the Bank 2011. This match was just great on every single part. A rowdy Chicago crowd booing the crap out of John Cena. Yeah, I know, booing the crap out of Cena of all people. But hometown hero Punk getting one over on Cena. What a great Cinderella-type-esque story. Downfall, Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was the worst thing about this matchup. Vince McMahon was the worst in this matchup, trying hard to restart the match, redo the Montreal Screwjob in Chicago, which they do 4 years later. Chicago Screwjob 4 years later between Natalya and Charlotte. Ugh. Plus they have the audacity not even to defend the Divas title now. Crap. I mean, I know Charlotte's a dumb champion, is the worst women's champion. Well, actually, she's the only. No, I'm talking women / divas champion. She's the worst woman to ever hold a title. She's lazy. She relies on interference. She can't win it for herself. Never has. She's just like CM Punk. Or, not CM Punk. CM Punk could win the title on his own. She's just like Seth Rollins was. She couldn't win the title without help. She's needed Ric Flair's help every single time to retain that title. / re-win the title. Needed Ric Flair's help. She didn't need Ric Flair's help to win. No. Ric Flair came in after. I think it was her first before her first title defense. He came in. And ever since then, she's needed the help of Ric frickin' Flair or outside interference to win her matches. She needs the help of Dana Brooke. I'm like, ugh. Charlotte is the worst women's champion in history. She's the worst woman to ever hold a title. She's the worst Divas champion. She's the worst women's champion. She is the worst champion to date. Hell, and I thought Roman Reigns was bad. Roman Reigns is the worst person to hold the WWE champion. But a women's / Divas champion, Charlotte takes the cake. I mean, yeah, sure, we've had some stupid champions in the past. Women's and Divas champions in the past, but that was the past. Like, anyway, that's all we're here to talk about, though. We're here to talk about the number one pick. The only number one pick. This was a great match. He'd leave for 8 days, though. That's the only crappy part. I actually was hoping he'd leave a little while longer. Everything he said, 2011 was CM Punk's year. He cut that awesome pipe bomb. He did everything right in 2011, and he got rewarded with the WWE Champion by taking one over by Big Match John. That doesn't happen very often. I think that was the best prize of all. Screw winning the title. You actually get to beat Big Match John clean. Yeah, I know, I said John Cena is one of my favorites. But he collided with one of my all-time favorites. Another one of my all-time favorites in CM Punk. If this guy comes back, that'd be great. Will he? Should he? Yes. But no, I mean, what can I really say that wasn't good? What hasn't already been said about this great match? It was a great 30-minute fight. Or wrestling match. It was my favorite. It's my favorite Money in the Bank match. Arguably my favorite match of 2011, and arguably one of my favorite CM Punk matches of all time. And that's saying something, because Punk has had a lot of matches. to say this is one of my all-time favorite Punk matches. Punk could win or lose the match, and it could be considered one of my favorites. I've teamed these guys up in AWL many times because I love both of them so much. I honestly wanted to see them be tag team partners in real life. You know what made John Cena's 2015 Survivor Series team, or 2014 Survivor Series team that much better? CM Punk. Yeah, I know he was gone by this time, but no, CM Punk has always been one of my favorites. He'll always be one of my favorites. He'll definitely be my top 10 favorite wrestlers. Past, present, probably even future. Every moment he's given us in his career with WWE has been great. Punk is one of those guys who just got booked to crap. You could never get one over. Like, the summer of Punk, they didn't even treat it right. The loss to Triple H at Night of Champions, like, it was terrible. Why couldn't, if he could beat Big Match John cleanly just a few years, or a year before, why can't he beat the Cerebral Assassin, a guy who doesn't even freaking wrestle that often anymore? Even back then, he didn't wrestle that often. Like, that's what pissed me off. But no, a great thing. The rowdy Chicago crowd, the blowing of the kiss to McMahon, all of that added to one of my favorite Money in the Bank pay-per-view matches. Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree with this list? Do you think there was a different number one? Do you think anything can top this match in Money in the Bank history? Do you think AJ Styles v. John Cena could beat this match? Do you think the Money in the Bank match could be on this list come next time? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this match is overrated and shouldn't get as much praise as it does? In my mind, it's a 5-star matchup. I don't care what anybody says. This is a 5-star match. That's all you need to know. The next pay-per-view, I'll be looking back at every pay-per-view that it's been a part of. I have a rough estimate leading up to WrestleMania 33. I'm telling you right now, it was originally going to be after WrestleMania 31 I do this list. But leading up to WrestleMania 33, I will be doing my 32 favorite and least favorite WrestleMania matchups. If you want a quick, I don't really hate any match that's gone on in the Money in the Bank. You want a quick top? I got maybe one. You want to know what it is? Roman Reigns' Money in the Bank last year. Won that shitness one. But no, did you agree with this list? Did you disagree with this list? Do you like this list? Do you hate this list? Do you think, like I said, anything can top that match? Do you think it'd be the Money in the Bank topping this match? Do you think it's AJ Styles? What do you think is going to be match of the night this Sunday? Honestly, I'd be willing to put my money on match of the night for AJ Styles v. John Cena or the Money in the Bank match. Those two are looking like they could be the best two matches on the card. I don't care. I want anybody but Sami Zayn to win the Money in the Bank. Anybody but Sami Zayn. So please like this video, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to. It'd be great if you do. I'm your host for this countdown, Andrew, and you have just experienced my top 10 favorite Money in the Bank pay-per-view matches. Until next time, stay tuned tomorrow for AWL Live, where there will be more Money in the Bank qualifier matches. And if all goes right, there'll be a handful left for Friday. And Money in the Bank, AWL's Money in the Bank will be this Saturday. Hopefully. Saturday or Sunday. And it'll be 3 matches. It'll be your Money in the Bank match, it'll be your WWE title match, your AWL title match, and your AWL European Championship match. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. Bye.